AC family, I just want to talk to you guys about scamming. Please do whatever you can to look out for scammers. Scammers are everywhere and they care about nothing but your money. If you were trying to get a house, a car, a boat, a dog that you thought was really cute on the internet, make sure to look real into whatever you're trying to put money down for, and make sure not to put money down until you see it in person, because scammers are everywhere and they do not care about you. All they care about is your money. When it comes to scamming, you have to really pay attention to what they say, because their story is never straight. Their story always ends up changing up because they forget what they say before. All right? Pay attention to their emails, pay attention to their messages. They always have a story and their story is never straight. Make sure to ask a lot of questions. Questions tend to confuse them and they tend to switch their story later on as you guys are talking if you ask a lot of questions. A lot of scammers, they will not meet up with you in person. So if you can get a scammer to meet up with you in person, that's perfect. When that happens, pay attention to their body language, pay attention to the things they say. Because no matter what type of question you ask, money always ends up popping back up into the conversation. So LAC family, when it comes down to you looking for a second approval, maybe on something that you want to buy, but it's really expensive and this person's been mentioning nothing but money, reach out to like a parent or a friend that's maybe been put into a situation like this, because it will help you out a lot. Trust me, I've been scammed before. Not for a lot of money, but I've been scammed before, and just for that little amount, I've even regretted, and I've regretted telling a person everything that I've told them. So please, do whatever you can to find help to get you through this situation. Please. L A C family.
Did you just almost say forehead? Anyways, hey you guys, welcome back to our channel.
Dang, your forehead
Stop.
poppin'.
I just got my braids done, so done. Anyways, stop looking at me. Anyways,
it's a full moon tonight. It's a full moon
today's
tonight.
video is a story time video of the time I almost lost us to over $2,000. So, do you want to start it off or do you want me to?
Since you got us into the situation, I believe you should start it off. Okay? So here is the tea, because she almost cost us a lot of money. When from the jump, I told her it was a what?
A scam. He told me it was a scam the second I told him about it. Okay, so as some of you guys may know, LAC was in the market for a new apartment.
For me. Because for those of you that don't know, I don't live in Orlando. I live 2 hours and 30 minutes away. I come and visit my two girls every weekend. Yes, I'm talking about you. Every weekend I come and visit my two girls. Okay? And while we were in the process of looking for apartments, Lauren stumbled upon a house.
I did, and like the house was so nice.
It was beautiful.
It's in a nice area. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, even though we don't even need that many rooms, but
It was like a dream come true.
and the rent was like, it was really cheap for that amount. So like, I decided to tell Christian about it. I was like, oh my gosh, look, I found this house. And Christian was like, something about that does not sound right. And I was like,
You gonna
but
tell
wait,
them?
there's more.
You gonna tell them how much it was?
Yeah, it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for $800 a month.
With a whole garage.
With utilities included. in the rent. So I was like, bet.
LAC family, I want you to tell me, where can you find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a garage, utilities included, all for $800 a month? I'll wait.
So, yeah. So I was conversing with this man.
Do you know?
Who was telling me that him and his wife had moved and that they were just renting out their house to a nice family because they just needed someone to take care of their house in their absence. They said they were going to be gone for a couple years, living out in South Carolina, so they were looking for some tenants in their absence. So I'm conversing with the man. Everything seems like completely normal. He had a full story and everything. So I'm telling Christian about it, and like Christian's like, yeah, like that sounds cool, but it still doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it was a believable story and everything, but at the same time you talking to him, you got to point out all the little clues.
That story, like, he really took the time to come up with that story. So this is probably about like Friday. I'm at work, I'm talking to Christian, I'm emailing the man back and forth, and then Christian comes into town later that night. And first thing we do Saturday morning, because the man asks me to put in an application for the house. I do. And then after that, he's like, oh, congratulations, like, the house is yours. And me, personally, I've never rented or anything before, so I don't know how long the approval process and stuff takes. But only a few hours seemed a little sketchy. He got back to me, like, right away. So, once... Can I talk? Thank you. So
she looked at you and said, fine.
So the house and everything, I'm talking to the man, I'm talking to Christian. The man's like, okay, like, you're the new tenants, but can you go look at the house? So it's like Friday night, I just got home from work, and I'm like, no, I can't go look at the house right now. Like, Christian's not here, I can't go look at the house without him. So I was like, no, I can't right now, but I can do it first thing tomorrow morning. Then the man starts asking me to put down a deposit so that he can take the house out the market. And I was like, but I can't really put down a deposit on a house I've never seen, because what if we see it and we actually don't even like it? So, excuse me, the man gives us until, stop that. The man gives us until Saturday morning. So Saturday morning rolls around. First thing we do in the morning is get up and we drive, okay? So we're in Orlando. The house we were looking at was in Davenport. So Davenport's not that close to Orlando. It's probably like 40 minutes away. So we got up, we drove all the way to Davenport to look at this house, okay? Mind you, we get there and there's not a single thing in sight. Stores, nothing. Like, it was literally in the middle of freaking nowhere.
It looked like a murder town.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it was a nice neighborhood that the house was in, but you could tell, like, all those houses had just being built because there's still tractors and everything all over the place. But still, the whole town, it was literally probably one gas station, and that was at the end of the road. And then probably like farther down, there was a lot more stores, but in that area, it literally looked like a murder town.
It was strange. So we get to the house, all right, and all of a sudden, this man is talking to me all morning, rushing me to get to the house, telling me you need to be here by this time. So, like, out of respect, I'm like, all right. So we get there at the time he asked us to, 10 in the morning, and all of a sudden, he stops texting back. Just like consistent texting. And then I say, we're here at the property. Ghost. He's gone. No messages, no calls, no nothing. So then he had a bright idea.
Shoot. See, I wasn't knocking on other people's doors. I was knocking. Do you know the owners of this house? Do you know how we can get in contact with them? She thought it was a bad idea because she has this strange... She thinks people...
People shoot people.
Yeah. She's scared.
You right.
No.
This is America.
I was just asking for some simple information. I was just looking for a simple phone number, but she was scared that one of us was gonna get shot just for knocking on the door.
This is America. So we knock on the doors and everything, and the man next door, the man right next door to the house was hilarious. Oh, okay, I'll hold you. So the man right next door to the house, we knock on the door. He's probably like the only person who answered the door. So he's talking to Christian. Christian's explaining to him what happened, and the man just looks at us and goes, "Dang, that's messed up." And he's like, "Well, sorry that happened to you," and he shuts the door. So yeah. And then we go knock on a couple other people's houses, and all they tell us is, as far as they know, that house has always been rented out. Like, no one's ever actually met the owners of that house. So then me and Christian are like, wow, that's like sketchy, because that doesn't line up at all with the story the man told us, because the man told us that he just moved out of the house. What's the matter? So things start not adding up. And then we're like, ooh. Yeah. So then,
girl, can you let us talk?
The man's not texting me. I'm blowing up his phone. I text him one more time. I'm like, listen, my 7-month-old baby is in the car. She's aggravated. It is hot out here. You need to respond back to me. So, sorry. I just hit her on the face. So, oh, yeah, baby. So he finally responds to me. And he gives me the code to the house. Mind you, we're like 5 minutes down the block because Christian wanted to leave. So we're like 5 minutes down the block from the house. And he texted me the code.
She's spitting up.
No, she's just spitting.
No,
oh, no,
she's spitting up.
What's in my hands?
Come here. Girl, let it go. Isla?
So, the man gives us the code to the house. So I turn around from where we are, and I go back to the house.
I told her not to.
He was mad.
Because we already knew it was a scam, so what was the point of turning around to go try the code to the box?
I'm a very optimistic person. So, he sent the code, and I'm like, let's go check it out. I always believe that, there's more. So, I turn around, I go back to the house, I use the code. Because it was it was a strange number. That seemed like it could actually be the code. And I put the code in, and I get an error. And I start talking. I text this man. I'm like, the code's not working. He's like, let me get in contact with the lockbox company.
She tried the code 5 times, by the way.
Yeah. And I tried it. I made sure it was exactly how I did it. I looked at the lockbox, made sure there was no other instructions. I put the code in, press enter, exactly like it said. So, she's sleepy. So, so I put the code in. The man says he's going to get in contact with the lockbox company. And I texted him back. I was like, you don't need to worry about it. It's fine. And then 5 minutes later, he goes, unfortunately, you can only see the house from the outside because I have the keys and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, so I can only see the house from the outside because you have the keys. So then what's in the lockbox? So then I start asking all these questions because he starts to not make sense at all. Everything starts falling apart. So I go there, I text him back. I'm like, yeah, it's a lovely house from the outside, but we're not putting down any money on a house and we don't know what the inside looks like. For all we know, it could be a crime scene in there. So I was just like, sorry, but we're just not interested. It's fine. And then he starts trying to save it or whatever. He's telling me, oh, the applicants that went through the realtor, they went to see the house, they broke the lockbox and all that stuff. And so I was like, okay, so you have a realtor. So I was like, can I have the phone number to your realtor and we could just do business through him? And he goes, yeah, I don't lease through my realtor anymore. I was like, so your applicants through your realtor mess up your lockbox, but you don't lease through your realtor anymore. So Christian's all aggravated with me by then because he's like, Lauren, it's a scam. And I'm still trying to make sense of it. And he's like, Lauren, it's a scam, leave it alone. So, yeah.
I said that 20 steps ago.
So then I told man, like, we're fine, we're not interested. And he starts calling me nonstop. He's calling me over and over and over again. And I'm not really answering. And then it gets to a point where, like, Christian gets annoyed with it and Christian answers. And the man was, like, really confused because he'd been conversing with me. So then Christian answers and the man asks for me. So Christian hands me the phone and he's trying to, like, and the man's like, do you like what you see from the outside and all that stuff? And then I'm like, and he's like, you can put the deposit and everything down. And I told him, I was like, I'm not putting down a deposit on the house I can't see from the inside. And he hung up. Like, immediately hung up. So, yeah. So Christian's in the car yelling at me. Not really yelling, but he's like, really, Lauren? And I'm just like, This exact face right here was the one he made.
Speechless. Your brother's at the door.
Yeah. He just really didn't even talk to me. So then the man tells me, the man's like, I'm not interested, I can't see the house. So the man texts me again. He's like, I just need you to put down like almost $2,000. And then he's like, and once you put down the money and the payment's approved by my family, we'll send you the keys and the documents so you can see the house. But the transaction is completely refundable. I was like, I'm not that stupid. Like, I may have my blonde moments, but I am not that stupid.
I mean, you went to the house in the first place. Am I wrong?
So, I was like, I'm not that stupid. So, I tell the man, nope, I'm not interested. And then he starts sending me like long paragraphs telling me, you have nothing to worry about. Oh, the house is like it's a nice house. I promise I'm going to send you everything. I'll send you a tracking number. I'm going to send it through FedEx next day, so you're going to get it tomorrow. And I was like, no. So, all in all,
watch out for scams, LAC family. I would really hate to see you guys get scammed the way she did. Luckily, I did not drop any type of money. Luckily, I caught on to the situation in the beginning. And luckily, I've already rented out apartments and stuff, so I know what to look for. Just be careful out there, you guys.
So yeah, that was the story of how I got scammed into almost losing $2,000. Because he wanted first month's rent, he wanted a security deposit, he wanted last month's rent, he just wanted everything. And then, yeah, he kept telling me he was willing to work with me and all that stuff. And like, just, if anyone ever asks you to put down money for a product you know nothing about, don't do it.
If anybody asks you to put down money for a house, apartment, car, anything through Snapchat, don't do it.
It was not Snapchat.
He did say Snapchat.
Cash App.
You're right. All right, you got me on that one. But anyways, through Cash App, don't do it.
And mind you, we went out there, and usually when you go to look at a house, there's somebody there to meet you, whether it be the owners, the realtors, or something. No, it was just us. No one met us out there or anything. So,
yo, this town was mad quiet too. Like, it was crazy quiet.
Yeah, it really was.
Like, you might hear like one bird chirping, but that's about it. Nothing else.
And it was far away in the middle of like absolutely nowhere. So, yeah. I mean, We didn't lose any money, thankfully,
Isla,
because Christian.
how you feel
our-
about this? How you feel about your mama almost scamming us out of money, huh? I'm tired of it too.
So, thank you guys for listening to our story time.
Thank you. Please, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure to like this video because, like, we just shared our experience of being scammed. Well, she
was
shared her
scammed.
experience of being scammed, and hopefully it helps you guys out in the future.
Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. We put out new videos every Wednesday
At 2 p.m.
at 2 p.m. on dot. Unless I'm late. Sometimes I'm late. But it's usually 2 p.m. If not, like 2:04. So.
They don't need to know all that. 2 p.m.
2 p.m. We put out new videos every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Make sure you turn on our post notifications, or just remember that we put out new videos every Wednesday at 2 p.m.
L A C family. Catch y'all later. Say bye. There, Google. I see you about to click out of them credits.
Christian, leave them alone.
No, I want them to follow us on social media.
Ugh.